Good morning. Welcome. Okay, I just wanted to hop on real quick. I'm waiting for a phone call, believe it or not, while I do this Periscope, and I just had some things on my heart, so I just wanted to hop on and share, and I don't know who it might be helpful to, but I needed to get it out of my head. Some of you are joining. You don't know me. You've never met me. I'm Tiffany Brown-Bush, and I am a mental health therapist, amongst other things, a natural health professional, and I integrate all the things that I do. And one of the things that I teach people is to challenge the way that they think. And here recently in my practice, I've had some interesting situations occur, and I thought, this is meant for me to share with other people, not just to keep as my own and try to teach. And I think that's what's neat about social media and something like Periscope is now you have a vehicle for these types of things. So just because you have a thought doesn't make it real, right? Thoughts need to be challenged. Thoughts need to be reshaped. They need to be looked at. You need to challenge what your evidence for that thought is, as well as your evidence against that thought. Sometimes you need to check with other people and to find out if they think that there may be something slightly irrational or even a little dysfunctional about your thinking pattern. When I find that people are struggling and they're coming to me in pain, I especially in office, will teach them this concept of looking at nothing creates your pain. Situations don't create your pain. It's your thought about that situation that creates the emotional pain you're in or creates the behavior that you're experiencing, right? So I get clients who are coming to me because they have stress at work. Sometimes I do a lot of anxiety work as well as eating disorder and self-esteem work. So I'll get a situation where somebody will come to me and think my boss or this working situation is the reason that I feel so stressed out and I'm worried. And what I have to teach is that anxiety is a result of whatever you've told yourself about that situation. Maybe you're a perfectionist and you can't ever get anything wrong, and if your boss is being critical, then that's the end of your world in your mind. Maybe you have challenges with authority figures. Maybe you don't enjoy the kind of emotional tone. That was something I learned from somebody recently. The emotional tone of her manager just didn't work for her, so she got lost in the actual interaction because of the person's personality, right? And so then she had some ideas in her head around how this person should be behaving in a work environment, right? And so it was what was being said to oneself about the situation that created the anxiety. And those thoughts aren't always as functional as they could be. And I teach about functional thoughts versus dysfunctional thoughts. Teaching about shoulds and catastrophic thinking, all or none thinking, mind reading and fortune telling and negative filtering. These are all categories of dysfunctional thinking patterns. I treat eating disorders and binge eating as well. And what I have found is that some of my binge eating clients have been some of the more depressed clients that I've been working with, and recently actually had someone surprisingly attempt to take their life, and it was a result of the thoughts. When I followed up with everyone to find out what had happened and started to hear back what they'd been told about why this individual self-harmed, it was a lot of the thoughts that we'd been targeting and thoughts that we've been challenging. And in this moment, that person stopped challenging those thoughts. And those thoughts weren't functional thoughts. I'm not worthy because I'm overweight, or I'm not attractive because I'm overweight. No one will miss me if I'm not here because I'm not valuable because I'm overweight. I'm alone. What's wrong with me? Right? And these are the thoughts that can create negative feelings, that can create inappropriate behaviors that are much more severe than overeating, right? So if we don't guard our thoughts, we can find ourselves in serious trouble. And it's something simple that I say a lot that I think people overlook and dismiss, because social media will have you think that, it's all a diet plan and being a beast in the gym, and that is the extent of it. And it's so much deeper than that, and that's such a superficial tactic to all this. And kind of in the wake of all the things that have happened recently in the world, and then just even with the people that I worked with, I work with a lot of sensitive people, which I absolutely adore and enjoy. Some of the brightest, most interesting individuals I've encountered are very sensitive people. A lot of them have been telling me they're pulling away from social media, and it's because social media creates a lot of emotional pain for them, and there's too much competition, and there's too much comparison, and there's just too much negative energy. And I think social media can be used well, but I do think that you want to be mindful of who you're letting in your head, because we must guard our thoughts, and that's another way where people are influencing your thinking, right? So you want to be careful about who you let in and what you look at and what you read, and censor what you expose yourself to. There's a lot of materialism and superficial stuff out there that is not about the meat of life. And I just thought, hopefully somebody sees this, or you'll share it with somebody else, and just get yourself thinking differently. One of my clients just this morning said, this is some information that thought challenging. I'm going to share with a loved one of mine. And we weren't raised being taught that, one, situations and people don't create our feelings, let alone that our thoughts aren't always real. Right? And that our thoughts need to be challenged and need to be looked at critically, because they are what is creating the emotional response for us as well as our behavior. So I hope this helps somebody, as I'm waiting on a very critical and important call from someone, which I'm going to have to follow up on to see how someone's doing. I thought I need to get this out there, and hopefully you can benefit from it or share it with someone. I'm going to go ahead and share it to my Facebook wall, and I will probably put it on my YouTube channel as well, just as, in the hopes that somebody can benefit. So you have a fantastic day, and you live fit, and thank you for taking your time out.